I haven't been live in about um days. It's been 3 days or so, and surprisingly, I actually missed going on live. And that's not about live. If you do something repeatedly many times, it becomes a habit. And the day you don't do that habit, you can even feel it that oh, there's something is missing. The more you do something, the more it becomes automatic. Okay, which is why we're advised to keep doing things repeatedly, consistently, so they can become a part of us, a part of our lives, right? And I feel like live streaming has somehow become a part of my life that I got so used to it. And for the past 2 days that I didn't, 2 days, yeah, 2, 3 days that I didn't live stream as much, I felt something missing. Anyways, it's really late. So I don't know if anybody's still awake to join this live, but I know that even if you don't join now, you would still play it back later on in the day. So what I want to talk about today is performing. And when I say performing, I mean in the way that we act, in the things that we do, in the decisions that we make. Are you really doing what you want to do, or are you performing for an audience? Okay, the choices that you make, are they really yours, or are they a reflection of what someone else thinks or what someone else expects from you? And there's a question that they asked that if there was no one around to influence our decisions, our choices, right, and who would we be? Right? Do you understand? If there was no one to influence our choices, if there was no one to influence our decisions, what kind of person would you be? What kind of choices would you make if you had the freedom to like make whatever choice that you want without any consequences whatsoever? Okay. If your parents could not decide for you, if your friends could not decide for you, if your communities could not decide for you, what choices would you make? What would you do? Where would you go? Like who would you be if you were not influenced by the outside world, if you were not influenced by your family, your friends, the people around you, if you had to look within yourself and be your own authentic person with your own authentic habits, decisions, choices, who would you be? What would you decide to do? What kind of life would you have? Okay, and that's something that people who are heavily surrounded by family and friends, I think it's something they should consider. People who have lived a community setting their whole life, I think it's something they should consider, because by the time you really sit down and consider it, you might find out that the choices that you think are yours are not really yours. The thoughts that you think are yours, the ideas that you think are yours are actually influenced by your environment. Okay, it's not a secret that people change when they change environments. Okay, people in a certain environment act a certain way because they are heavily influenced by what they see, what they hear, and basically the happenings around them. So if you're heavily influenced by your environment, are you really your own person, or are you just a product of your environment? Meaning that if we picked you up and put you in a different environment, you are likely to act in a different way. Do you understand? So you're acting based on your environment, and if you were to change your environment, you will change your habits, you will change your decisions, you will change your perspective and your view on life. So can you really say that you are acting, independently when you are just a product of your environment, you're a product of your country? If you look at people that were born in third world countries and you look at people that were born in first world countries, or just two continents, right, you will see that their mannerisms, their actions, their beliefs, your attitudes, their habits and their decisions are very, very different. Okay, that's to say that you are who you are based on the family that you're born into, based on the community that you're born into, based on the country, based on the environment. That's what makes you up. So are you really your authentic person, or are you just a product of where you were born into? It really takes someone who is mature enough, who has a unique perspective on life, to really sit down and look within themselves and decide the kind of person that they want to be, outside of other influences, it really takes someone who has a mind of their own to make such a decision. It's just that many people don't get to that point in their lives. Actually, many people get stuck in replicating what they see in the environment that they are born into. So a lot of things in life are actually based on chance, okay, such as because many things influence whether we get successful in life or not, such as like I said earlier, the family that we're born into, the environment that we're born into, the community that we're born into, the religious beliefs that we're born into. Many people actually, like the religious beliefs many people are born into, it's the same religious belief that they stick to the day that they die. Okay, so you really need to sit down and decide, is that religious belief that you have, is it really your choice, or is it just a product of the family and the environment that you were born into? For example, you were born a Christian and you die a Christian. Okay, did you remain a Christian because that's how you were born, or it became your personal choice along the way? Like for example, you are also born a Muslim. Did you remain a Muslim because it's your personal choice? Or like if you were a Christian now, imagine that you were born a Muslim. Would you have converted to a Christian because you think that's the right way to go, or would you have remained a Muslim? I don't know if you get me, but these are things that really need to sit down and consider. These are things that we really need to think about. Okay, are we our original selves, or are we just a product of the environment that we are born into? Now back to the topic, are you performing for an audience? What I was thinking about before I decided to come on this live was that sometimes we are our original selves, other times we act the way we think that people expect us to act. Two very different things. You either act the way that you want to act, the way that you think is right, the way that you think is proper, the way that you would advise another person to act, the way that you believe in acting, or you act the way that you think other people want to see you act. You act the way that you think other people would approve of. You act the way you think other people would like. Okay, you act the way you think is acceptable by society. So it's two different things. Are you being your authentic original self, or are you simply performing for an audience? Sometimes we even perform for an invisible audience because we've made a decision in our mind that people will not accept us for how we look, for how we act, for who we really are. So it's just something that we've thought about in our mind, so we make that up in our head and then we run with it. Okay, so we are not even performing for the audience based on reality. We start to perform based on what we have thought in our mind. We start to perform based on what we have assumed, not really what is the reality of the issue. Okay, I don't know if you're understanding me. Yeah, but for me personally, I was just thinking that I'm not so much of a great performer. Sometimes I wish I was, but I'm not so much of a great performer. I'm so used to being myself and I'm so comfortable in myself that if I even try to pretend, I won't be able to keep up. That is the honest truth. If I try to pretend, and I have actually tried to pretend to perform, to put up a different face, to pretend to be something that I'm not, I will not be able to keep up, because give me a week, give me 2 weeks, and I'm back to my default setting. I want to be myself so bad. I don't feel the need to fit into society. Okay, I don't feel the need to have the approval of everybody, because if you have the approval of everybody, then it's like you have the approval of nobody, because you're just going to be like everybody else. You're just going to fit and blend into society. You will not I believe everybody has been created with something unique within them, and being here on earth, we are meant to deposit those unique things on the earth. But if you come and you want to blend in with everybody else, how then do you drop those unique things that you have been brought to live on the earth? How then do you leave a mark? Because you're just like everybody else. You fit in, okay? You're not standing out. You're not being unique. You're not adding the value that you are meant to add, because you want to be accepted so bad. You want to just be like everybody else. You want to fit in. So you're not giving back to society. You're not giving back to the world. You're not giving back to the earth what you have been created here to give, because you just want to be like everybody else. Okay, everybody is created with something special, something unique. Okay, that is your own addition to life. That is your own addition to the earth. That is your own addition to you being here. So if you don't deposit that thing, it's almost as if you were never here. And the reason that would be is because you just want to be like everybody else. You just want to fit in. You want to be one of the guys. You want to be one of the girls. You don't want anybody to say anything negative about you. That's another reason people perform. Okay, I'm so sorry that this life may not be going one after the other, because everything that I say from my head, so it may be a bit scattered. But one of the reasons people perform is that they want to be accepted so badly, and your need to be accepted by everybody and anybody is actually killing your dreams. It's killing your purpose, and it's probably even making you stagnant. And if you're not careful, it's going to start taking you backward. I think some of us are not taught how to have thick skin. Okay, some of us are not taught how to be courageous, how to be bold, how to stand firm in life. And if you're not taught these things, if you get to a certain age, based on exposure and other things, you need to teach yourself these things. Okay, when people say that they were not taught certain things when they were younger, I think it makes sense. But by the time you get to a certain age, you cannot tell me that you are 30 and you're still thinking a certain way. It just tells me that you have not been exposed as much as you should have been. And it may not really be your fault. It may just be, circumstances. It may just be life, because life happens to everybody. But when you get to a certain age, it is now your duty to unlearn and relearn. Okay, unlearn everything that doesn't serve you, unlearn everything that will not draw you closer to your purpose, unlearn everything that will not take you farther in life, and relearn the things that are very beneficial to your destiny. Okay, install the things that are necessary in yourself. Okay, if you've not been taught good habits, install those good habits in yourself. Simple things like saying please, saying thank you, saying sorry, they're very important. Okay, being empathetic. Okay, things like this are things that you need to teach yourself if you grew up in an environment that did not encourage all of these good things. Now, moving on, we're talking about the reasons that people perform. It's just to be like to be accepted, to be like everybody else, and another reason is because people assume in their mind and they think that this is what is acceptable. Okay, they think this is what is okay, so they want to do what they will be accepted by in society. Okay, nobody wants to do something like some people are scared to be awkward, some people are scared to be different. Okay, and then again, not everybody has a strong mental health to withstand whatever comes their way. Sometimes, if you are doing something different, depends on people that you are surrounded by, they might tend to talk down on you. They might tend to say that, oh, okay, you're doing this, you're being different, blah, 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 this is not acceptable, this is not good enough, and things like that. If you don't have a strong mental health, you may not be able to withstand all of these side talks, all of these bad talks. You may not be able to withstand it. So you just decide in your mind that you're going to go with the flow. You're going to do what everybody else is doing. You're going to say what everybody else is saying, so you can be accepted, and because you also feel like it will bring you peace, right? I mean, if people are not saying bad things about you, then you might probably feel like you are going to be more peaceful than you were before. So there are different reasons that people perform. There are different reasons people facade. I'm sorry about that. I think the live was interrupted, but there are different reasons people pretend to be something that they're not. Like I said earlier, I wish I had the stamina to even pretend, but I can't. If I pretend for like a week or like 2 weeks, eventually my original self will come out, because I can't keep up with that performance. But there are people that can really pretend to be something else for a long time, as long as they feel like they're getting the benefits that they should get, right? But for me, I don't see the need to pretend. There's something that they say that if you come forward as your original self, the people that rhyme with you, the people that accept you, the people that love you for who you are, will eventually discover you. They'll eventually find you. But if you come out performing to be something that you're not, then how then do you connect authentically to the people that you are meant to connect with, to the people that are meant to understand you, to the people that you're meant to do life with? Okay, I mean, you can go far in performing for a while, then you realize that all the people that are surrounded by you don't even know the real you. And if they eventually find out the real you, they may not want to stick around. So what's the point of having a crowd that doesn't know you for who you really are, but having a crowd that probably will not stick by you when they find out who you really are? So then again, back to the question, are you performing in life, or are you really being who you are? Are you showing up as your authentic and your real self, or are you just pretending to be something that you're not? Are you pretending to be someone that you're not? Are you just like some people when they're leaving their house in the morning, they put on a different face and they keep that face outside, for everybody to see. So they get back at night and then they unravel their real selves. Which is why when you meet people for the first time, like you really have to be careful, honestly. When you meet people for the first time, you really really have to be careful, because you have no idea who they are, you have no idea what they are capable of. Okay, certain things, perhaps character is not written on the forehead. If you meet someone with a terrible character, you cannot know just by looking at them. You cannot know that they are terrible people or they have evil intentions just by looking at them. That's why it's important to study people. It's important to give people time before you trust them wholeheartedly. Even in business, in personal relationship, it's very, very advisable to take your time and not rush into anything. So anyone that is here that has a question or a contribution, I would be reading comments, because this is such an interesting topic to me. It's a very broad topic and there's so much to talk about. Hi, Jaiba the Rizla. Thanks for being here. Um, Nice to have you here. Where are you joining in from? Where are you joining in from? Java the Whistler. I'm doing well. I'm doing great. I'm so happy to show up as my real self, as my authentic self, and not have to pretend to be something that I'm not. I think it's amazing. I think it's a blessing, and I'm grateful for it, to have people around me that accept me for who I really am. And that's also because they know me for who I really am. Thank you so much, Jabla, for subscribing. Please don't forget to give this live a don't forget to give this live a thumbs up if you're here. Also, thank you so much for subscribing. Please don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate every single subscriber that I get. It means a lot to me, and it's so encouraging, very, very encouraging. It keeps me going. For actually, I almost did not come on live this night, but I just felt like I had something on my mind to share, which is just to encourage everybody to be themselves, to encourage everybody to show up as your authentic self. Like, your life doesn't have to be aesthetic. You don't have to be the best. Okay, because you don't have all the money in the world or you don't look your best, does not make you any less of a person. Okay, and I was scrolling through Instagram today and I saw a lady. She posted herself. Okay, she did not look at the best. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Some people in life look better than others. So she didn't look the best. But I love that she was so confident to post herself. She was talking about her skincare routine and all of that. And there were so many nasty comments in the comment section. But I didn't care about that. Okay, I just felt encouraged that if she can show up like this as herself, then I have every reason to also show up as myself. I really love when people are just themselves, they put themselves out there, because social media has made us to think or to believe that. Okay, Java, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you. Have a nice time. Take care of yourself, and I hope to see you. I hope to see you some other time. So yeah, like I was saying, social media has kind of made us believe that everybody should look the same. Everybody should look perfect when they come on camera. Everybody should have a very nice home. Everybody should, always look laid and well prepared and fancy. Social media has delusioned us into thinking that that is the normal. And the honest truth is that that is not the normal at all. Like, sometimes I feel like there are certain people that just sit down behind their phones and they don't really go outside to communicate or see what's happening around them with the masses, actually, not just the bourgeoisies of the society. If you go out and you relate with everyday normal people, you realize that a lot of things that we see online are not realistic. Okay, they're not the reality of the majority. Okay, what we see online is the reality of the minority, and people post different aspects of their life, like just the highlights. A while back, I'm currently in a phase where I'm rebranding. I don't want to do it in a hurry. I want to do it slowly. Okay. So I'm not really sure what direction I want my Instagram page to take, but I don't just want to show like aesthetic parts of my life, but at the same time I want to keep the page looking cute because of potential customers, because of potential brand deals, and you know all of that. So it's a bit of a struggle for me. So right now I'm not using Instagram the way that I should, but I'm just trying to say that just be yourself, basically. Just show up as yourself, just do your thing. Like, people will love you for who you are. But if you never show the world who you really are, then how can people love you when they don't even know you? I feel like most of the time, like, these limitations they are self-imposed. Okay, sometimes even before we start, we already convince ourselves that we're going to fail. Okay, so our mindset is that of failure. We're not having the mindset of a winner. So even before you want to come out and show people who you really like, for example, now in your work setting, okay, you get a new job at a new place, and rather than just show up to the job as yourself, you feel like no, you're going to pretend to be something else while you start work, that you're going to put on a different facade. Okay, you want the people at the job to see you in a certain way, but the truth is, for how long are you going to keep up that new face? Okay, how long are you going to do that? And even if you do that for a long time, the people that you'll be connecting with, the way people will be seeing you, it's not real, because that's not who you really are. That's just a photo. That's just like something that you created. That's not even a real person. That's the person that you created because you want people to approve of you. You want people to like you. You want people to respect you. You want people to see you in a different light. So you pretend to be something that you're not. Okay. My main issue is the consistency in pretending. For me, I could never keep up. Okay, but that's just me. For me, I wouldn't know how to keep up. And like I said earlier, it's something that I do in a week or 2 weeks. I already like, I'm so tired of it. Okay, if you watch all my live videos, I always show up how I am, my authentic self, because I don't even, I like today now, I was out all day, like I was literally busy the whole day. Like right now, I'm so exhausted. So like, I will not even be able to come up here and, show a part of myself that doesn't exist or pretend to be something that I'm not, just for the sake of doing that. So me personally, I really can't keep up with social media and all the like pretenses that are necessary. Okay, and I'm so glad that I have like a proper source of income, so I don't have to like depend on social media for like livelihood. Then I have to be pretend to be something else. I think that's another reason that people pretend to be something that they're not. People come out here and they perform because of money. Okay, like for example, now you something like your livelihood, you paying your bills depends on you, like a certain thing. You would have to perform, not because that's really what you want, but because that's what is necessary for you to get paid. And if you're a human being, no matter how minimalistic you try to be, you need money to pay the bills. Like every day of your life, you really need money. So at the end of the day, you still end up performing. But I'm just saying that if you're starting out where nobody knows you and there are no expectations from you, please do not start out with a performance, because it will be harder for you to keep up with a performance. It will be so much easier if you just show up as yourself. Okay, it's less stressful, there's more peace attached to it, less lying, less pretending. You just feel happier. You will feel more at peace if you just do things in your own way, the way that you should, as yourself. Okay, I hope someone has been able to like get a message from all this talking. I hope you'll be able to understand me and I'm able to pass a message across. Like I said earlier, my YouTube channel is basically about me sharing my thoughts, and this is just something that I thought about. Like, do people really show up as themselves, or do people really show up to perform? And I do know that a lot of people show up to perform. I'm just trying to say that it's not necessary that you do that. And even if you started off performing, you can definitely trace your steps. Just wake up one day and show up as your real self. Of course, you're going to get questions like, why you acting this way? Well, especially if your real self is a downgrade from the person that you have been pretending to be. I think that's the issue sometimes, that when people pretend, they pretend to be something better than they originally are. So I think that's the issue. Like when it's kind of feels like a downgrade, so people don't like that. But I'm just trying to say that if you try it one day, you realize that it's so much happier for you, it's so much peaceful, and you don't have to struggle to keep up, because you're just showing up as yourself. So basically that's all. If there's any questions or contributions, you can just leave it in the comment section, and even after the live has been posted, you can still drop your contributions in the comment section, and I would be going through. I always, if you go to my YouTube channel, I always reply comments that I dropped, because like I said earlier, I'm so excited and so glad to be building a community on this platform where I can just come, say my thoughts, say my opinions, say my mind, say what I think, say what I feel, and it will be accepted in good faith. So thank you so much for joining my live. I appreciate, though I've been slacking on lives a bit because life has been so busy, but it's always a pleasure to come online and interact with everybody at any time of the day. It's almost 1 a.m. here. I don't know what time it is for the people that are watching. If you can hear me, please just drop what time it is where you are. I just want to know like where people are joining me from and what time you are seeing this. I would appreciate. So thanks so much for joining my live anyways. I hope that you have been able to learn a thing or two, because that's the main aim, to be able to communicate or pass across a message. So that's fine. I will see you in the next live. Take care of yourself.